Welcome, Dharshani.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
And thank you.
Hmm.
So, good evening, everyone, once again, and welcome back to yet another learning hour with me. So, today, the topic which I chose for as a discussion, or which I wanted to bring it as a session to all of you all, is your voice has power. When I say your voice has power, what is the first thing what comes in your mind? If I have to ask anyone or anyone who's watching this video later, if you can comment down below, it would be really helpful. As to when I say your voice has power, what comes in your mind at the first place? Shabna ma'am, if you can give me
Yeah.
what comes in your mind.
Uh, what you say, it happens, like something like that.
Yes, whatever we speak, we say that, or we must have heard in different places that the what you speak, the words which you use, not just words, is the energy what you spread out. Say, as someone said that smile is contagious. So similarly, the way you talk also is contagious. It has its energy, which many a times which we don't realize, but it has its energy, isn't it? So this session, I urge everyone to believe is that even your voice and your words, what you talk, has the power to change the world, which I completely agree upon. But many a time we think, oh, okay, I don't have a good voice. It's not that. Even your voice has a power that which can change the world as it is. Can you see this slide? Which says your voice can also change the world. But before we become a speaker, before we become anything else, these two words, silent and listen, both are both words are made up of the same letters, no change. It's the same letters which has been made up of. Before we become a speaker, where before we start using the words to communicate, first we should be a good listener. I hope everybody agrees with me on this, but this is how it is. First, we should become a good listener, or we should become a good observer, so that we start observing and we start listening to things. That is also a process of learning, and that's also where our learning happens. So, when we start using our words, when we start using words as a language or the words as a medium to communicate, it's not just our words, it's also, as I said in one of the sessions where I did, it is also the confidence which you project, the clarity which you have. Maybe, say, as a speaker, if you're going as a speaker on a stage, you should know what you're going to talk about. You should have that clarity. Okay, the speaker is aware as to what he or she is going to talk about. When you don't have that clarity, that's when you find, you don't know what is that you're going to talk next, because it's all very strong statements. When we say, when especially when we use the statement I am, you're making it as a personality of our own, isn't it? Say, for example, say I am punctual versus I am a latecomer. You start believing it, right? Whatever you say to yourself or whatever you tell to the other person, you start believing it. Yes or no? This happens, especially with kids. This happens. A lot of young kids, it happens that I am a slow eater versus for now you are eating slow. Makes a difference. Does not mean every time you're eating slow. Maybe because of that particular situation you're eating slow. That doesn't mean that you're a slow eater or I am a slow eater. No, it's not that. It's just sometimes it's the situations which puts you to eat slowly. Yes or no? I hope whoever is gonna listen to this later also will relate to this. Especially find these kinds of statements coming out with anyone, but especially with the younger generation, it comes a lot. Yeah. Any questions?
No, it's very clear.
Very clear. Okay. So what I'm gonna see, these are basic things which we know about the forms of communication, where we have different forms of communication. And why I've taken your voice as power is because sometimes the way we communicate, the way we use the picture, the way we write something also makes the difference. Say, for example, all of you must have imagined you yourself standing on a stage or a bigger audience in a bigger conference halls or a bigger motivational whatever event it is. You stand as a speaker in that particular stage addressing something or a motivational talk or an inspirational talk or whatever it is, isn't it? You all must have done that or you must be planning to do that. Yes?
Yeah.
We all like to do that. Many of us like to do that. But first, we need to start believing in ourselves. Okay, our voice has also power. Or if I ask you, what is voice? You might start thinking, voice. Some people feel they have a very, husky voice or different, tones and different sounds to the voice which we talk. Shabna ma'am will have a different voice. Meena ji will have a different voice. But your voice also matters. Your voice, the words you talk also matters. Which brings us to the main aspect of today's session is you need to start understanding what is your own communication style. Which many a times which we don't understand and which we don't realize and which we take it so lightly. Happens all these things happens, where if you are a good communicator or if you have good communication skill, you will know what is your high, this is my highest point. That, say for example, uh Meena ma'am, are you there? Meena ji, or are you busy with something else?
No, no, I'm here listening to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead,
Okay.
please.
If I have to ask you to tell us more about your last vacation, where you went. Can you just tell me in couple of sentences?
Okay, my last vacation was in New York, and
Yeah.
I went to
Okay.
many places. Yeah,
Okay.
many places, and I traveled a lot. I used public transport. I saw many museums. I saw many events, attended many events and book launches and all, and I had a great time. I also visited my friends, my relatives, my close confidants, and it was a good thing. And I could spend more time in nature and enjoy the. mm, I really enjoyed my stay there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. If you notice, this is just for an example purpose, which I'm taking this. If you notice, there are three kind of uh, listeners or speakers would be there. One is their auditory learners or audio, visual, and kinesthetic. Say, for example, this is how it will sound like when you go start talking to a visual. They'll start describing the place like anything that, okay, this is what I seen here, or this is what I did. They'll start talking on a more elaborate ways. Or say, for example, if you take an auditory person, they'll start telling more about the sounds, what they heard, how it was. Either they'll talk very in high pitch or they'll talk very in a very under lower pitch. So we need to understand what kind of styles are we using to communicate, because understanding your style of communication will take you a long way, which will start helping people and who is listening to you in a much more better manner. Otherwise, what will happen? Say, for example, I'll give you a different example here. Meena ma'am told an example, or she told us, about the last vacation she went. She just kept it very short and crisp. Say, for example, a person who does not like, an individual who does not like to listen to a lot of, you know, longer words, longer sentences, that person might get irritated, isn't it? So that you can go talk to more in that with that person, but we should know when to talk in a very crisp manner, when we'll have to elaborate what kind of person whom we are talking to, or the person who's listening to us. If you have a good understanding about that individual who's doing that. So beginning in every communication style, or where with whatever words we use, we need to understand what is our own communication style. I hope everyone watches TV, isn't it? If you remember, in TV also it has different settings, even when it comes to your visual, the brightness or the contrast which we use, that also matters. It can matter to many, or for many, the sound matters. For some, they like very melodious voice. Some likes many a strong authoritative voice. All these different ways which we like. If you, Shabna ma'am, this is just a compliment. She has a very sweet voice. Different people will have different voices, but even your voice has that power. So whatever opportunities comes in your way, pick it up. We never know what will that particular situation discover, what you discover about yourself there. Yes. So how you can, how, what all kind of questioning or what all kinds of things can help you to get there is that first we'll have to understand what is that you want. Many of the times we ourselves is not clear in this particular area as to what is that we want. If you are clear with this one question, the rest of the things will fall in place. This is just a question which will put you into a direction as to what direction you have to start thinking. Any doubts in the questions which has been displayed? Anyone who's listening to this?
Yeah, no doubts.
No doubts. This will just put you into that frame of mind to start thinking, okay, this is what I want, this is what you can do. And I'll give some of practical, techniques what you can use is that. One is, you must have heard of this practice called the chanting of the Om. Yes, you might have done, you might have not done, but this is how many syllables or how many words does Om has, or syllable or sounds?
Three.
Three, right? A,
O,
U,
O,
and
Ma.
O and right? You can practice that separately. What will happen the minute you start doing this is that it is kind of a practice what you give for your vocal cords. Okay? It's a kind of practice which you can do. The second thing is, sipping water in between. What happens when your throat becomes dry? You start coughing, or your voice will start getting sore, isn't it? And these are two things which you can, do to give it a start of practices of what you can do. And take a paragraph or take something from some book or whatever you like. Start recording your own voice. Okay. Shabna ma'am, I'm just taking her because she's here. That is, I'm just taking different people from who's with me right now. Can you just read on the screen what has been written just 3 times? I'll show you what differences happen.
Okay. The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you, your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you, your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you, your voice, your mind, your story, your vision.
You observe the difference the minute she spoke the second and the third time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
speed, the pace, the pitch, everything changed. More than the first time what she spoke, the second and the third time it changed, isn't it? So the
Yeah.
minute you start doing this repetition of things or repetition of words, say you find some new words, try adding it in your vocabulary or try adding it in your workplace or wherever you are. If you are working, you can try start doing these things. This itself will bring a lot of change. And yes, the commitment also matters. So never talk, never talk something even for a joke, because your mind does not know the difference between a joke and a reality. Or like we say, your mind, we don't understand if it's real or real, isn't it? These things happen. And a good, this, I don't know if it is a myth or if it is a misconception or what it is. It's okay to talk slow as long as you're able to deliver what you want to talk or what you want to communicate. Sometimes we hear that, a good speaker has to be a fast. He or she has to talk fast. No, even if you're talking slow, if you're able to give away the point which you want to communicate with the other person, even if you're talking slow, doesn't matter. So these small things matters. So to start with, you can start doing these couple of things, is start recording your own voice or reading something on a more frequent manner, two or three times the same thing, and see how it changes your, the speed and the confidence which you have. This is something which you can start. Any questions? No questions?
No questions. We are enjoying your talk.
Thank you so much.
Your voice has power.
Yeah, your voice is also having power. See, because many a time we don't believe that. This is the reality of it. Many a times we think, oh my god, I have a sore voice. Oh my god, this or that will be going on. Which many a times which we don't think, or which we don't realize that our voice has power. Even Meena man's voice has power, but we don't accept, or it's hard for ourselves to accept that. Or we sometimes start thinking, is it really she's saying, or is she just saying for the name's sake? No, your voice has power, as you rightly, as Shabna ma'am had read it out already. Even your voice has power, because we talk two times faster to ourselves more than we talk to someone else, but we never know. Yes, Rajvin, any questions? No? Yes?
This is actually perfect for me. So I go through it a lot during hypnotherapy. Your voice is power, but sometimes I rather use it for my job. But um, positive I take, negative I discard, and
Yes.
I'm slowly learning how to uh, not to say it will happen overnight, but slowly learning how to take control and take responsibility of my life. And some things I believe are not beyond human control. And so it's very, very rightfully said, your thoughts are your power. Just like we were discussing yesterday, the eight traits of successful people by Stephen Covey. And my colleague and I came up with another trait. It's called laughter. Instead of 7th trait, we came up with the 8th trait. We made history and came up with the 8th trait. The trait is to be successful in life. You have to laugh through challenges. That's what I am doing. But sometimes I guess it's better to uh, suppress, express emotions when you have to in the right way.
See, again, thank you for bringing up this, Rajvan. Even your emotional states also matters the moment you start talking. Many a times we say, no, your voice is sounding so dull.
Sometimes, like my hypnotherapist was saying today, when I was feeling a bit anxiety, and he was saying that let go of people who cause you anxiety and let go of those anxieties, and you don't need the anxiety. You deserve to be happy.
See,
And
simple.
I believe that inside me, that through hypnotherapy, I believe that there is a 10-year-old girl who's saying that, "Shh, no, shine, shine, shine." That's what's keeping me going.
Sometimes just listening to a person's voice, we go and say this, ask them that why are you so dull, sounding so dull? So even when you're on an emotional state, also people find out we think they don't understand, but they understand more than what we think they understand. And it happens a lot of times. It has happened a lot of times. So that even today, even every time Rajvan comes into my session, she'll ask nice questions, and she gets me all pumped up every time she comes and talks. So even Rajvan ma'am or Meena ji here or Shabna ma'am, all of you have a voice which has a lot of power in you. And only one tip or one statement I'll leave you all with that is that never ever degrade yourself or never ever self sabotage yourself thinking that, oh, I'm not good enough. No. Even that also has a power when we say it. Today, I'm gonna leave you all with an activity. Everyone has a dream you want to achieve. Yes. I just want everyone to go visualize that and just go off to sleep and let me know through a message or something, or when come back to for another session, I want to come and share your experiences and see how life unfolds.
Yeah, so true. Because I believe, right, through hypnotherapy and through naming sessions as well. I believe there's inner child in me. That inner child in me is 10-year-old.
You human mind is all the same as a computer system. What you feed it will come out as an output.
Yeah, true.
So it's like positive input is equal to positive output. Negative input, negative output. Similar, same for anyone. So if I have to leave you all with something, this is great. This is what I would leave everyone with. That the one thing that you have that nobody else has is you, your voice, your mind, your story, and your vision. And all of us who's listening to this, all of us who have joined here today, you all have a story to write. And if anyone has not thought of writing a book, write a book. You never know. It might change someone else's
Yeah,
life altogether.
I'm also based on last night and based on today's quote. I might take this quote, Dashni,
You
that
take. I am not stopping anyone. Take it, but
because
I believe
I might write the ebook with Mr. Nahan after inspiring all of the audience here last night. So
it inspires. We never know. It inspires
there
at every step.
was what happened is there were seven of them, 7 or 8 of them. They're so inspired. They're so
I'm
inspired.
glad.
I'm sure.
This is one thing what I would leave you all is the statement that
Yeah,
your voice, your story, and your vision.
no one else.
Let's leave the footprints of inspiration, motivation, whatever we call it. And yeah, even this Maven learning platform of Maven Magic has its voice, has its own story, has its own vision. And let that succeed with that. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to add something, or we can close? Him, Shikha, or Minaji?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much, Darshini.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
It's
everyone.
so wonderful. And see you all again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.